This is Elliott Serrano and Jose Melendez coming to you from Dreamland Comics here in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us yet again here on the Comic Culture Warrior YouTube channel, where we talk about comics and all the other stuff. We finally got an answer to the question that we had posed months and months ago. Joe Quesada, I guess, answering a very angry fan at one of the conventions. I don't know which one.
It wasn't an angry fan. He said that the fan actually just posed the question. He wasn't angry about it. He just wanted to know why.
I think some folks framed it that way, though, so I don't know.
Quesada, in the interview, he said, he made it a point saying he wasn't
an angry fan. Okay, so not an angry fan, but a concerned fan.
Yeah.
Why did Marvel Comics make the jump from $2.99 books to $3.99 books? He basically said, in a nutshell, if I understood correctly, comic books, for what they are already devalued as it is, because we, as kids, always got comic books for fairly cheap. Back in my day, you got them for 25 cents, 35 cents, and they went up. I mean, I still remember the days of comics when they were under $1 a piece. Okay,
I started buying comics when they were 75 cents.
75 cents, okay. And over time, he says that has led to what he called a ghetto-fying of the medium, where he's basically saying that comics are devalued, that when you put a price tag on it that's so ridiculously low in his eyes, you're downplaying the worth of the book, and that there's a lot of folks who are involved in the creation of those books, pencilers, writers, inkers, editors, colorists, that is their livelihood, and by keeping these books at a particular price, that is affecting them when said penciler can go work for a video game company and make 3 times as much money working on video game designs, like a what's his face, Battle Chasers, Joe Madureira, who we've yet to see him do a comic book since then. So anyway, no, I'm sorry, take it Ultimates, but anyway, I read the argument. If you haven't seen it, go to the Cup of Joe site on Newsarama, and you can read it. And I'll post a link to it in the video description of this segment. But do you buy it? Do you buy it?
Not for a second.
I mean, to me, the one thing my question would be to Mr. Quesada is, if that's the case, if you're saying, he's basically saying
that comic books, that because they're priced so low that they're looked down upon and they're like shit.
Right. By keeping the price down, by keeping the price low on them, yes.
So way to win over a lot of fans by just talking down the medium.
Well, he's saying that if you raise the price of it, you can support the creative teams more suitably, and the value of the books, or the value of them in general, it starts kind of, not value per se is the dollar value, but their intrinsic value or their artistic value, I guess, would be a way of putting it. That's enhanced by the higher price tag. You
really think that they're going to pay the people who are doing the comic books more money?
Well, it's funny that you should say, because, again, the higher priced books, who has the higher priced books? Jeff Loeb, Brian Bendis, who else? I think that's it. Who has the other $3.99 books right now? And Bendis is exclusive to Marvel, right? Is Loeb exclusive to Marvel?
I think he is right now.
Okay, so you kind of you probably are paying them more. They probably are getting paid more.
But the output that they're putting out is not worth that amount of money.
Well, I guess would be somewhat. We've talked about it before. That's an argument we're putting there. To me, the flaw in the argument is not so much that they're raising the price. The flaw comes in looking at other publishers that don't sell as many books are keeping their price points down. They're not making the dollar jump. Plus, not all of Marvel's books are going up $1 in price.
Right.
And on top of that, when Joe Quesada would make the argument that you're devaluing the comic, there's been that whole thing where they would raise the price in a book $1, and they would give you all this reprinted material from previous eras or other artists. Are those artists getting residuals?
No, see, I don't think so.
You know, see, that's the thing.
Is Jack Kirby's family getting money for all the reprint stuff?
Exactly.
I don't think
So if Joe Quesada would address that in a way, just to kind of give us an answer here, I would really respect the argument more. Also, another thing he said on the Newsarama thing, on his Cup of Joe, he just can't answer everyone's questions all the time because he's really busy. So if you want
Except the one question that everyone's asking him all the time.
Yeah, right. But if it's one question... and you catch him in a con, and he's got a moment, he'll talk to you, but otherwise you got to go through his press folks, which just seems to me now that they're starting to put up this wall of protection around him so he doesn't have to constantly answer questions from the media all the time, which... Dude, that happened during the Bush administration. That sort of stuff is gone now. Mm-hmm. If you're going to have transparency in anything, you'd think it would be in a business like comic books.
Yeah, in his reasoning for why they're raising the prices I just think is ridiculous. It is ridiculous, the reason that he's giving.
If you're telling me that you're raising the price of books because... I would respect it more if he would have come out and said, you know what, the reason we got to raise the price of Mighty Avengers is because, we... paid Bendis this contract, and that's really the only way we can afford to keep him on the book. Mm-hmm. Or all these books you have to pay this much more because it just costs this much more for these reasons.
But do you think them. Do you think he would say that because you know what I would say and what a lot of people would say? Well, you know what? Why don't you keep them at $2.99 and get a different fucking writer on there?
That's true.
Because that's what I would like.
Yeah, but let's be honest. The Avengers books never sold like they do now before Bendis came on the book.
I'll agree with that.
So switching out the writers is not necessarily the solution to it.
Sure, there is when there's better writers that have proved themselves to be able to do monthly books really, really well.
Well, but the Bendis formula is a winning formula. People read his books. People like his stuff. I mean, again, I like his stuff. I mean, yeah, we've had our problems with what he's doing lately, but look at all the conversations that we have when we criticize Bendis and how people jump to his defense. So he obviously has a very devoted fan base out there that will read his stuff, and they will read it to the point where even if you raise the price $1, they'll still buy it.
I know. Well, and like you just said, it's the Bendis books and the Jeff Loeb books. Right. Like the ones who obviously do have the big contracts are the ones that are more money. Right. And to me, it's just even worse. Just for me, obviously. I'm just talking about me because I don't like either of those guys. Right.
Well, we're the minority opinion, of course. Right. Yeah, we're the minority opinion.
But that's why it doesn't make sense for me to raise up. But I understand in the industry that those are the top-selling books. So yeah, Marvel is, raising the prices on their top-selling books so they can make even more money off the top of their best-selling books. But, as long as they leave Thunderbolts $2.99 and those other, like Ghost Rider $2.99, Jason Aaron actually, in the last issue of Ghost Rider, in the letter column, he's like, no, this book is staying at $2.99. It's not going anywhere for the foreseeable future, $2.99, so it's not going to go up. So as long as all the high-priced books are the ones I don't have to buy, and they help the lower-priced books stay low.
Right.
All right, that's fine.
That's a good way of looking at it. That's a good way of looking at it. On the other hand, too, though, I'll just for the sake of playing the advocate here, you're going to have folks who say kids don't have a problem shelling out $50 for a video game. What's a $4 comic book?
$60 now.
$60 for a video game.
I agree.
So, all right. Does that argument wash with you, folks? I know you can look at it both ways. Although I'll say I have yet to get a definitive answer, and I really think Joe Quesada's.
Yeah, I don't like
that. I thought that was just basically doing a political tap dance, and just come out and give us a straight answer, man. Just say Bendis's exclusive contract means we got to charge more for the Avengers books. Fine. I would respect that more than this pussyfooting around. All right, that's what we have to say about that. When we come back, we'll have some more book reviews. We hope you join us.